All right then. I should be live right now. Let me just check. Yep, seems like I am live. So, hey there everybody. Happy Thursday to everybody and a special Merry Merry Thanksgiving to all you Americans out there who might be listening in. Hope you guys are enjoying it. Hey, Dunk, not much, buddy. Not much. Just weekends here, trying to enjoy that shit. How about you, man? No, FTH, I did not. Oh, by the way, it was Alpha Protocol that Tits was streaming. So yeah, I did not read my horoscope today, and I kind of regret that because we're dealing in a case that has a lot of what's it called? The horoscope stuff. Not horizontal, whatever. Like that kind of stuff. Finally loaded. Oh, there we go. So yeah, hey Dunk. Happy Thanksgiving. And hey, Weru. You had an ad. Oh man. That shit never ends. And hey, Palma. So yeah, happy Thursday to everybody. Happy, now you were 100%. Okay. Glad to have you, man. So yeah, so there's a lot of astrological stuff in this case, apparently. Where we were, basically we went to this museum to check out an exhibit that had to do with an old case. Actually, the last case that Edgeworth's dad ever did before he was murdered. So we went back here, and funnily enough, coincidentally, all the people, all the persons of interest from the first case 18 years ago are suddenly here too. And not only that, but one of them was apparently poisoned and fainted. And not only that, but our good old friend, childhood friend, Larry Butts is here. And as usual, he is the fall guy for this. And we have Mr. DeBest here, who's about to just explain to us why he thinks that it was, Laurice. That it was Laurice Bouteau that did it. So here we go. I'll start by if you have any questions or anything that you need me to explain or get you up to speed, just let me know.
That artist was the first to discover the victim, so naturally, he's the best suspect. The poison gas was caused by normalium, a chemical found in paint, right? As he was carrying paint near the victim, he would have had the best chance. The paint, along with being the first witness, that pretty much proves he's the culprit. So, what do you think, Justine? We cannot ignore the possibility.
Oh, awesome. Good to have you too, Palma. I did a quick recap. I don't know if you caught it, but if you need another one, let me know.
Well then, Mr. Artist, please tell us the truth. Did you leave red paint at the crime scene? Or else, did you cause the poison gas to go off?
The only thing shit, I forgot his voice again. I keep forgetting. I wanted to actually check what voice I gave him the last game, but I forgot about it, so sorry. The only thing I'll leave behind is my bond of love with you. I'm gonna kind of try to work it.
Please watch what you say. My gavel is already prepared to declare you guilty.
Objection! Objection!
Please pay no heed to this man's statements. Objection! Hey, you guys. Ignoring my reasoning just because it's flawless won't do you any good. Mr. Edgeworth, if you've already admitted defeat, you should take your leave.
Even though I don't really have time to deal with your ridiculous reasoning. Let's give a rebuttal. Okay, so as always, we'll start by pressing. Hold it! Indeed, at first glance, this man seems suspicious. However...
Objection! At first glance? What's with that first all of a sudden? You! Are you trying to steal my spot as the star that shines best?
Huh? Would that make me the best artist? Larry, don't make this any more confusing than it already is. Mr. the Best, continue your reasoning now. Poison gas was caused by normalium. Yeah, well, we're not disputing that. It was called by normalium and fatalium, two chemicals that when mixed together create poison gas. Hold it! Yes, apparently normalium is used in many everyday products.
Right, so the red paint is definitely suspicious. But it's also used in things other than paint, right? I guess you have a point. What do you think, Justine? That's right. Normalium is also used in detergent, for example.
In other words, it might not have been the paint that caused the gas.
That's not true! Let me finish my reasoning.
Okay, nothing... Well, we don't have any proof that there was something else here that had normalium in it. So let's keep going. Hold it! Even if paint is the cause of the poison gas, that does not mean he is guilty.
Haha. Well then, if the paint is not the cause, that doesn't mean he's innocent either. No, he's just trying to sound clever. Mimicking what Mr. Edgeworth says won't make you look cool at all.
Kay, please don't make my statements look bad.
Now then, it's about time to wrap up my shining logic.
Being the first witness, that pretty much proves he's the culprit. Hold it! Do you truly claim that Larry is the culprit based on just that?
Huh? You got a problem with that? If you have a problem, then present evidence. Mr. Edgeworth, it looks like he really wants you to do that.
Indeed. Then I will do as he wishes and present evidence. It seems he doesn't pay much attention to what other people are saying. There's a clear contradiction in Mr. the Best's logic.
Why'd he even bother making the phone call?
I'll finish this quickly. This is a waste of time. Okay, so let's go over all of our evidence and see what's the most relevant. Okay. So I got the original case file. I don't think that's relevant right here. Art gallery pamphlet. Well, we know that Maurice didn't have one. But I don't think that's relevant here right now. Water Palace photo. Identical to the sherbet desserts the victim made 18 years ago. Okay. Don't see anything there. Pisces sketch. Drew a sketch of the Pisces sculpture just as he saw it. Well, I don't know. It kind of explains the red paint, I suppose, but it doesn't... Or I don't know, or something that caused the poison gas. But it doesn't really prove his innocence, I think. I mean, it is just his word right now, I think. Used gas burner. There are traces that it was used before the police arrived. Oh! Well, this could definitely be it. Maybe there's normalium in a gas burner? I don't know. Okay, that's one thing. Fluorescent cloth. Rainbow light device injects light into fluorescent cloth. Touch the check button for details. Yeah, nothing too special here, I think. Especially right now. I don't think this is relevant. Just kind of curious about this. According to Mr. Shields, this allows you to change the color of the cloth. Let me try it out. Ooh. The cloth has started to glow. Is there something I'm supposed to see on it while it's glowing, maybe? I don't think so. The cloth is glowing with a light blue aura. According to the detective's report, it was wrapped around the statue like this. So it would seem. How is this related to our case? Yeah, we don't know yet. Can we check out any different colors while we're examining it, or...? Guess not. Okay. Okay, so this is probably not it. Poison gas, the right fatalium mixed with a red normalium caused a chemical reaction. Yeah. So it's definitely... Okay, so my feeling is it's the gas burner that we found in here. Oh really, what is it, Palma? Or are you scared of, God? It's quite good and everything. Well, go for it, man. If you can't tell us, that's good too. I mean, that's cool. If you're afraid of someone stealing your idea on stream. Drones the size of a bee. That reminds me, I think I already told you about that, but did you actually do the work of a bee? If you're gonna go that route, I think I already told you when you talked about your novel at some point, but you should watch, there's a Black Mirror episode in the newest season, season 3, that has that exact mechanic in a different setting and different story. But it's also, like, it has a similar premise. Like, the story of that episode also takes place in a world where bees are extinct, or practically extinct. And they've invented little drones that do the work, that pollinate and do the work of the bee. Now they take that to a completely different, like they take that idea and use it in a completely different way, I think, than what you're planning. But you should definitely watch that episode and see if it either, like, you know, gives you more ideas, or just like make sure that you don't, like, you know, repeat it too much so people don't start drawing too many similarities between the two works. Okay, it was carrying paint. Where was it that... Found in paint, yeah, but it's also found in other things. So I think I'm gonna try this. Objection! Mr. De Best, what do you think about this piece of evidence? Why are you asking for my opinion? Don't you see? This evidence contradicts your testimony. What?
Overruled. I don't believe this evidence has that kind of meaning. Is that right?
Judge Courtney here. Was she such a bitch?
Also, you don't need to yell objection so loudly. Just showing evidence will suffice.
You don't need to tell me that. Fine, fuck you. Okay, let's look more closely at what he's saying. Ours was the first. They even marked it in a different color. The first one they were talking about, so maybe that's the point. So naturally he's the best suspect. It's found in paint. He was carrying paint near the victim, he would have had the best chance. Paint, along with pretty much being the first witness, pretty much proves he's the culprit. Okay, well, there's no contradiction, like, he's not contradicting himself, it seems. Or is he saying that the victim might have been... Are we saying that the victim might have been another witness, or that he could have done it himself? How do we prove that, though? I gotta think, maybe I'm overthinking things again. Oh! Hold on, maybe this is it, because to make the gas, we don't just need normalium, we need fatalium too. And there's no proof that he had fatalium. So that could be it. Just, okay, now where do I put this? Chemical found in paint, first discover. Okay, I'm gonna try this statement, but with a poison gas that says that we need both normalium and fatalium, which I think is an important point, so let's try. Objection! Mr. De Best, your logic is more akin to a shooting star than a shining star.
It shines the best like that shooting star, right?
It may shine brightly for a brief moment, but then it burns itself out. The poison gas originated from inside the glass case of the Pisces sculpture.
Exactly. So that's where the artist set off the gas, right? He used the normalium in his red paint.
As your senior, let me give you one piece of advice. Listen to the explanations of others. The poison gas was caused by mixing both normalium and fatalium together. The normalium contained in the red paint is not enough by itself.
Really? But I thought I heard that normalium caused the fatality.
Don't tell me you just misheard the forensic report.
Darn it!
By the time Larry discovered the victim, the room was already filled with poison gas. It is time for you to realize how incapable you really are.
Hey, what do you mean by incapable? You tried to use that word earlier, and you still don't know what it means.
He means to say you are lacking in ability. Incidentally, inculpable has a completely different meaning.
I get it. You're making fun of me again, aren't you?
I am merely saying that you were incapable in your investigation.
Overruled! Before you insult Sebastian, I still have some doubts about your own statement.
What kind of doubts?
For all we know, Mr. Artist could have simply entered the Autumn Palace at an earlier time.
That's...
Moreover, do you have evidence that the red paint is unrelated to the case?
You can do a lot. Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely can do a lot of stuff. I'm just saying, like, check out that episode so you don't, you know, either get ideas or know what to avoid. Maybe stuff that doesn't work in that episode, or I don't know. I think it's worth checking out anyway. It's a decent episode too. Like it's not one of the best of the series, but it's pretty decent. It's worth a watch, I think, in general. The entire season I thought was really good too. Some really great episodes in there. I even streamed one of them, I think, because one of them is kind of like about gaming. So I don't know. I think some people enjoyed it. I hope so, at least. The most important thing now is not the red paint. The red normalium and the white fatalium. Exactly how were those two substances mixed? I believe that is our main concern.
Naturally. It was Sebastian's job to investigate that. Were it not for your interference, we would have found that out by now.
I never intended to interfere. On the contrary, I'd like to cooperate.
Don't tell me you're going to say you know the cause of the poison gas.
How the poison gas started, I have something that may shed some light on this matter. Yeah, exactly. It was kind of a horror episode. It was nice, though. I enjoyed it, I mean. I liked it. There's a really good one that, like, I think the best one, though... That was a good one. I think the best one, though, is the one about... How do I say this without spoiling it? I can't. Because I don't remember the name of the episode. Version of Rainbow Six Siege so far? I don't know. I think I just need to play more operators to really get a better idea of it. I finished all of the situations today, and all of the challenges for the situations, and that helped me earn more e-money to get. I think I got like 3 more operators. So next time someone's online, I'm gonna hop in and try them out. I think it was, what's his name? Thermite, the guy who can sense heartbeats, forgot his name, and Smoke. Since they're both, like, you know, fairly cheap and they seem like they might suit my style, I'm gonna give them a try.
Sebastian, do not fall for his bluff.
Yeah, exactly, because, you know, I like, and stuff like this, I like, you know, taking something that is always good or that's usually good and try to make that work and try to be good with that, and that way I'm always an asset, which is important to me. Yeah, exactly, Pulse. Cool, so I saw some videos on him and he seems like really cool and also a lot of fun to like work with someone else. Like if you got a guy who can do a lot of damage or even like just has a shotgun with you and you can just like aim him in the right direction, that could be a lot of fun. Yeah, no, I did. Kavira did seem fun. Kavira is the sneaky one, right? So yeah, definitely. I definitely want to try her out at some point, but I heard that she's like fairly advanced. So yeah, I'm gonna try with those guys, and we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Worst case, I always got my rook.
Come now, it's fine, really. Let's hear what he's come up with.
Oh, Sebastian said that? My bad.
If you say so, Sebastian.
I was sure that it was corny. People use him to roam, he is fast and can attack people. Yeah, exactly. His legal wall hack machine, kinda, yeah. Yeah, that plus he has he has C4 that can be really useful. So even if you detect like someone beyond the wall, that like you can just blow them up instead of trying to shoot him, which is easier, I suppose. That, and again, but I see a lot of potential, you know, using Discord to just like have someone, or in the marker to just like have someone wreck an enemy's shit, since you can know where they are. So I think if I manage to learn it properly, it could be a lot of fun, especially in a co-op. We'll see.
Come on, show us.
How did the poison gas start? Well, we got it right here. Take that!
Surely you're not saying that this was the cause of the poison gas.
It seems even you've noticed it.
Duh. It really stands out.
Those red tears that Larry saw were undoubtedly normalium.
Huh? Wait a second. If those were chemicals, does that mean a ghost set off the poison gas?
I don't have time to play along with them. The red tears of normalium could not have triggered the poison gas by itself. The red liquid was mixed inside the case to create the poison gas.
What? Just where do you see evidence that the chemicals were mixed?
That can also be seen in this sketch. Yep. Here is the evidence. Show the evidence that the two chemicals were mixed. Right here, we got some pink, which is what happens when you mix red and white. Take that! A pink liquid can be seen flowing out from under the case of the Pisces sculpture. This is proof that the two chemicals were mixed.
Hold on a second. I still don't get it. How does this show that normalium and phtalium were mixed?
Since we have a self-proclaimed artist here, I'll let him explain. Larry, you fancy yourself an artist, so you should know about mixing paint, right? What do you add to red to make pink?
Don't take me for a fool, Edgy! I'll have you know, I graduated from middle school.
A bioengineered organism that takes place of pollinators. Oh! That's a really neat idea too, actually. I really like that, Weru. It's a nice twist on the robot trope, you know? Bioengineered is kind of... Android bees! That's it! It's a perfect mix. Or either super bees or android bees. I think that would be really cool too. Like, not complete robot bees, but, you know, cybernetically enhanced bees. We have the technology. That could be really silly and really, really cool, I think. Bees with, I don't know, with consciousness. Highly intelligent bees. Or flies, mosquitoes. Oh, that could also be cool, yeah. Oh, that's what you meant. I thought you meant, like, something completely new. Like, they mutated something completely new. It must be drones, small drones. Okay. I actually do like the idea of, you know, bioengineering, mutating other, like, little bugs to pollinate. Or what if the crisis is so severe that they need, like, even something larger? Like, they need to take, like, small birds and have them able to pollinate. A fungus that makes other types of organism do pollination. Also interesting. You got some real good ideas, Waru. That's really neat. Yeah, maybe not, like, you know, tackle it from the pollinators angle, but rather from the, you know, the pollen. How do we make pollen, I don't know. How do we make plants pollinate themselves, or, I don't know. Just brainstorming here. You add white to red to make pink. It's common knowledge. Well, technically, there's rose pink, baby pink, and several others. The killing that causes the start of the story is made with B-sized drones that are actually kamikaze drones. Oh, interesting. Like something the military used and went out of hand, maybe? Actually, B-sized drones that are kamikaze drones. You should definitely watch that episode, Palma. ASAP. For real. You should really, really watch that episode as soon as possible. If you have Netflix, it's on Netflix. If not, you can probably just, like, you know, find a place to get it rather quickly. Hold it! That's enough. Now, do you understand, Mr. the Best?
That's how it is. By mixing red normalium with white fatalium, you get a pink liquid.
Yes, exactly. Took him long enough.
I see. It looks like Mr. the Best finally gets it. Overruled. Prosecutor Edgeworth, you have merely presented one possibility. Do we really know if the color was the result of the two chemicals mixed together?
Fighting a lawyer, love!
Hey Chun-Li, how you doing, man? How's the finger?
Furthermore, this sketch was drawn by the suspect. I cannot put much faith into it.
I just painted what I saw. How could that be a lie? Or don't listen to him. You make up your own story, man. With better drones. Drones that fix power lines and aren't even drones. They're actually bioengineered mosquitoes. Huh? You do that and show him. It's dead like your ambition. Oh, man. Like, how dead? Dead as in, like, nerve damage? Or dead as in it had to be amputated? Or dead as in you're just memeing?
Mr. Artist, I did not permit you to speak.
Oh, so cold. But that's part of her charm. Of course, I intend to bring the truth to light immediately. Memes, okay.
Overruled. It would not be wise to jeopardize your position even further. Aren't you going to answer my question from before? How do you know that Mr. Artist did not enter the Autumn Palace? If you cannot prove this, there is no room for you to argue any further.
Hey, could we find that out if we talk to the victim, pal?
The victim, Dame Gustavia, remains unconscious and in critical condition.
Oh, that's right.
Aren't there any security cameras or something, though?
Well then, Sebastian will be investigating the crime scene now. All of you, please vacate the premises.
Are these trials random? You mean the story, the cases? No, it's all a part of a story arc that takes place over the whole game. There is, I think, a Phoenix Wright Online thing though, where you can download trials and cases that other people wrote, which should be kind of cool. Who's holding it?
Hold it!
That's my guess. Oh no.
Hold it!
Or not.
If you were to take a stand in court, you'd cause a lot of trouble for the presiding judge. Is there something you would like to say, Mr. Artist?
Hold your horses, Miss Cool Beauty.
My name is Justine Courtney. Please don't address me by such a strange title.
Oh, you finally told me your name. Pleased to meet you, Justy.
Dude, don't you have a girlfriend?
I'm Laurice Dunim, but you can call me Laurice.
Mr. Artist, please get to the point.
I just remembered that I haven't had a chance to say yet. When I first got to this room, it was locked, so I couldn't go in.
Judge Booby. Judge Booby's pretty good.
But then, that old dude suddenly fell through the door.
It would appear that the palace rooms can be locked from the inside. But just because you say it was so, doesn't mean the door was locked. Without proof, your statement holds no value.
Objection.
Oh, it's him.
Well, why not let Uncle Ray prove it for you?
What?
After all, you can confirm the room was locked too.
Right, Miles? Yeah, we did actually try to enter here before we went to the Winter Palace.
Yes, I remember as well.
The Winter Palace should be...
Supreme Court jugs, that's another good one. What was that? There was a similar show, wasn't it? About lawyers called Jag or something, right? Jug.
Huh? It's locked up. That's odd. They've already opened the museum.
Until the gas outbreak, no one could have earned this room. Overruled. Perhaps the suspect entered the room with the victim during the gas outbreak.
Jag off. Nice.
Objection! As you can see, this man did not inhale any of the gas. If you examine his belongings, you'll find he wasn't carrying a gas mask either. Is that so? Well then, I have no choice but to agree. Huh? That was easier than I expected. Anyway, I presume this clears up any suspicion surrounding Larry. It seems Mr. DeBest's logic was off once again. Wah-ha-ha. Not exactly. I just didn't have enough information, that's all. Therefore, my reasoning was just before its time.
He sure has a way of saying things that
He sure has a grand way of saying that things didn't work out for him. In that case, there is one more suspect who has yet to take the stand. Mr. Artist, you're free to go.
Huh. But I wanted to talk to you a little more, Busty.
Overruled.
Your cold demeanor leaves me mesmerized all the more. This other suspect is...
A pharmacist by the name of Delicious Scones. It would have been difficult for this artist to obtain the phthallium from Megatoxin X. But a pharmacist may have knowledge of how to do that. The court will now take a 10-minute recess. Sebastian, it will be best if we brought her in quickly.
Best if we brought her in quickly?
Sounds good. Leave it to me.
Hey, Flatfoot, keep up the investigation.
Ugh, got it. Don't tell me. Judge Courtney suspected her from the very beginning.
So Mr. DeBest's logic wasn't any help at all.
Judge Courtney, just what is she thinking? Okay, so can we finally... Oh, to be continued. Right now. Okay, let's get on with this. So, does this mean that we can finally investigate the room?
She said it would only be a 10-minute recess. They sure are taking an awfully long time.
Ahem. Sorry to keep you waiting.
Prosecutor DeBest presents Miss Delicious Scones. Oh, you see, you called, so here I am. It is I, Delicious Scones, the pharmacist who makes delicious drugs.
Delicious drugs, you say?
But you can call me Delicious.
And you can call me Mr. DeBest.
Oi! Nice to meet you, bestie.
They've gone straight to nicknames.
Huh? That boy reminds me of someone.
This is Miles Edgeworth. He's Gregory's son.
You see, nice to meet you, Miley.
Miley. Could you please not call me Miley?
Ha ha ha! Meeting Greggy's boy. I guess that's a sign I'm getting old.
How old is this woman?
Smash! Sebastian, isn't there something you'd like to ask Miss Pharmacist?
Oh, right. Yeah. Miss Delicious, could you tell us the reason why you came to the gallery?
Yes, see, I came to see the curator, Katie. I've been friends with her for 18 years, so I visit her quite often. Is it true, Miss Pharmacist, that you also assisted in the treatment of Mr. Gustavia? I guess you could say that, although I only made the antidote for the doctor. Wow! You made the antidote on the spot? You see, as long as I have the right ingredients, I can make any drug easily.
Interesting admission right there.
The infirmary here is well equipped, you see. Instead of sending him to the hospital in critical condition, we treated him right away. I did all I could. The rest depends upon his body's ability to recover.
Do you know the victim, Miss Delicious? Yes, see, although it's been 18 years since I last saw him. I only knew that he had become a world-famous pastry chef. Is the victim that famous? I heard on the news that he had won a competition for designing desserts.
What do you mean you heard on the news? You were there 18 years ago. What are you talking about? That reminds me. Oh, maybe he won a different competition after that incident. Since I suppose the competition never officially ended. That reminds me. I do remember him mentioning something about studying design in Zhangfa.
Smash! Now, let's get down to business. To defeat the Huns. Miss Pharmacist, are you familiar with the drug Megatoxin X? Yes, see? It's the drug that's used to kill those things. It's mega effective. Because the effects are so potent, it's not available to the general public.
What are those things you're referring to?
It's a drug for vanquishing the creatures that strike fear into the heart of a lady. The ones that often infest kitchens and the like. I think I know what she's talking about. So, Miss Pharmacist, may I ask you one more thing? Do you know what happens when you mix normalium with fatalium? Yes, see? I know. It's even written on the warning label for Megatoxin X, hazardous when mixed. When the two drugs are mixed together, a chemical reaction occurs and a gas is released. Inhaling a large amount of this gas can cause breathing difficulties and even death. With the amount of poison gas Gusty breathed in, I think there was probably at least 500 milliliters of each chemical in the gas.
As expected of a pharmacist, she's very well informed.
Normalium is an adhesive liquid that becomes hot as soon as heat is applied.
It becomes hot. I guess it boils pretty quickly is what they're trying to say. Seems like a weird way of saying it though. I mean, when anything become hot as soon as heat is applied? I don't know. Depends on the intensity, I suppose.
It also has a red color and a minty fragrance. Due to its low cost, it's used everywhere. Fatalium is a white, watery liquid. That's enough for now. As expected of a pharmacist, you're very knowledgeable. Yes, say, of course I am. Megatoxin X is one of the chemicals that the company I work for produces.
Very interesting. Another piece of incriminating information, possibly.
But not just anyone has access to it. It's so potent that as soon as it's so potent as a poison that it could be sold to the public after all. Thank you. I think that's all I need to hear.
Does Judge Courtney suspect her? What is she hiding behind that smile?
Oh? Flatfoot, have you made progress in the investigation or something?
Yeah, let me tell you.
Hey Tits, how you doing, man? Thanks for the stream earlier.
The glass cases that contain the sculptures can be opened by a mechanism in the lid.
What strange cases?
The temperature in the cases can be lowered down to 0 degrees Fahrenheit. The inside of the Pisces case was set to 27 degrees Fahrenheit, so my hand nearly got stuck to the ice.
Interesting. So maybe the material was placed there earlier when it was cold, and then it got heated up or something? I think there's probably something to do with that. I'm not sure what exactly yet, though.
Good thing it didn't. So then,
From the lid of the Pisces case, we detected slight traces of normalium.
Eh? Not bad. Huh? If the normalium was in a glass case at a temperature of 27 degrees Fahrenheit, then it would have been frozen to the lid.
Yeah, we can see some water around the floor, meaning that maybe the temperature was turned up at some point and the statues melted a little bit and then it was turned back down.
really? So, what happened?
Mr. DeBest, why don't we try borrowing the power of Kay's little thief?
Oh, great idea.
I think the circumstances would be easier to understand if we use our Mr. Thief.
So you really want to help me out that much? Fine. I'm not really sure how this all works, but you, get on with it.
I hate being bossed around by this guy, but to arrive at the truth, I'll do it! Overruled! Stop acting as you please. The goddess of law has no need of your power.
Don't be such a stick in the mud, Courtney Pie. We have approval of the prosecutor in charge, so what's the problem? Could it be there's something the PIC doesn't want us to find out?
That's none of your concern. If you insist on participating in the investigation, then let me check if you're qualified by asking you a question.
What is she planning?
Who set off the poison gas? If you can answer me that, I'll allow you to work with us.
Well then, Miles. The person who opened the Pisces case and set off the gas. When you think about the circumstances, there's only one person it could have been. Yes, considering the circumstances, it's clear who it was. If they're saying that, then I think I know who it is too.
So, please give me your answer. Who set off the poison gas?
I'm pretty sure it was the victim. Again, when you think of the circumstances, we have no evidence of anyone else being in the room, so I'd say definitely him. We still don't know her age, by the way, right? Delicious. Yeah, we'll probably find out by the end of the case. Or maybe not, actually. What about her? She's only 34? No way! Wait, she's 34. What's 34 minus 18? That means she was 16? And she was on the show? Wow. She didn't look 16, that's for sure. Anyhow, not her. Not him. Actually says Laurice. Oh my god. AKA Larry Butts, okay. Take that! There was no one in the Autumn Palace other than the victim, Dame Gustavia. It's hard to believe it could have been anyone but him.
It seems that way. Very well, I'll allow you to participate this time. However, if I feel you're a hindrance, I will have to ask you to leave.
Understood. But what I don't understand is why the victim opened that case. He obviously wanted to get something from inside, either sabotage or get something from inside. Something with a statue. Don't know what yet. Obviously something to do with the original IS-7 case.
So, Mr. Edgeworth, what shall I recreate?
Based on the information we've gathered so far, let's recreate the scene before the gas.
Got it! don't scare me like that. So, this is the true power of Sir Thief.
Interesting.
Let's investigate the Pisces sculpture post-haste. There's frozen normalium on the lid of the Pisces sculpture's glass case.
It's frozen so thick you can't even open the lid.
On the actual glass case, the lid was heavily cracked. It was like someone had it out for the Pisces sculpture, sir.
Do you have any idea how it came to be cracked like this?
Well, the damage didn't seem to have come from outside of the glass case, sir.
Could it be that, I don't know, the gases inside... Like that the pressure inside of the case was too large and caused cracks that the gas could seep out through? That seems really odd, though.
I see. So the inside of the case was below freezing point and the case had developed cracks.
Oh, that could also be it, I suppose. Maybe.
There are no signs of external damage. From this we can deduce...
Below freezing? Like Mr. Edgeworth's cold stare.
And cracked, like Mr. Edgeworth's furrowed brow.
Thermofracturing. The cold glass case was heated from outside, causing it to crack. Oh!
So you know how that was done. Okay. But why did thermal fracturing occur here? And what caused it? Well, we know what caused it, and I gotta guess about what the reason was.
Inside the thermally fractured glass case, there was frozen normalium.
Oh? That face means you've probably thought of something, Miles.
Indeed I have. I know how Mr. Gustavia was able to open the glass case.
What? How can you possibly know something I don't?
I'd say the things he does know are in the minority.
Hey, aren't you going to let me know? How did Dane Gustavia open the glass case?
Obviously, using the gas burner.
Take that! This gas burner that was found in the Autumn Palace shows signs of recent use. I believe this was the cause of the thermal fracturing in the Pisces sculpture's glass case.
A glass burner? Why would you use something like that? I got it.
Yeah, she should know.
The lid was frozen shut, so he had to use the burner to melt the ice.
Not what I was thinking, but maybe actually.
Indeed, that is correct.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's a good reason too.
I just had a late start. I'm still the best, you know. Late start? You didn't even understand a single thing, didn't you? Well, that's just because Mr. Edgeworth's explanation was too hard to follow.
Kay, why don't you update the little thief so that he can understand it?
If you say so. Right, let's restart the recreation.
The victim, Dane Gustavia, was the only one to enter the Autumn Palace. If he used the gas burner then, the normalium in the glass case would have melted.
And then?
The melted normalium would have come into contact with the fatalium inside the case and produced the poison gas. The moment Mr. Gustavia opened the lid, he would have begun to inhale the gas.
So I guess it was more of a like anti-theft measure, maybe.
He managed to drag himself out to the fountain patio just before his strength ran out. So he inhaled the gas when he opened the lid. It seems he finally understands.
Why did Mr. Gustavia open the glass case of the Pisces sculpture?
The victim's goal? That I do not yet know.
Perhaps he had the same reason as Uncle Ray. Maybe he actually came to see the Winter Palace, not the autumn one. Uncle Ray also thought that this was the Winter Palace at first.
Oi! You too, Ray Ray? Actually, I thought so too. It looks just like Icy's room from 18 years ago. It's even got the exact same plants in front of the door.
It seems everyone involved with the IS-7 incident made the same mistake.
Hey, Snore. How's it going, man?
It is imperative that we investigate the real Winter Palace immediately. I should suggest that to Mr. De Best.
I get it now. Yeah, that's how it was.
Just got back? What, from work? Oh, wow, that's pretty late to come back from work. I'm okay, man. Weekends here, just enjoying myself. Finished all the situations and challenges. This is for the regular DS, not the 3DS. Oh, putting Kit to sleep. Hey, good job then. Hope she stays asleep for a while at least. So yeah, I finished all the situations and challenges, bought 3 new operators. Can't wait to try them out. Yeah, DS looks good. It works especially well with games like this, that do great usage of pixelated graphics. Same for games like Phantom Detective. That was also a great one. Yeah, exactly. The sprites are great, and the backgrounds and effects and everything. They really put a lot of effort into this game, and you can feel it all the time, which is part of the reason why I love them so much.
Huh. Did you think of something?
The victim committed suicide.
Actually, Palma, that's how they do brisses, right? They liquor up the baby. I mean, that's the anesthetic. They just give the baby some liquor, get real drunk so it doesn't feel, and then they chop the foreskin off.
He thought he would look refined if he died in an art gallery.
He thinks he is, Snore, but you can tell from the little lock on top of his head that he's actually pretty clueless.
Have you even been listening? Well, if you're as smart as me, just hearing half of the story will be enough. Sebastian, I'll explain it from the top later. Top? That means best, right? Alright, I'll leave it to you.
Ghetto style circumcision, yeah, but that's how they do it. No, as far as I know, at least. I've never actually attended one other than my own, and I don't really remember that one. But that's what I've been told that they do, that they just give the baby lots of wine or something.
Yes, it would indeed be best to let Judge Courtney handle him.
That aside, don't you have some information to inform everyone of? I totally forgot.
What are you talking about?
We did a little checking on that pharmacist. We, meaning me, the best prosecutors, subordinate. That's not something to brag about. Shut up, you. Quiet down and listen. Suicide is painless. It brings on many changes. Is off the table for now, yeah. That's because, in short,
That pharmacist is the culprit. She set up the gas as a trap.
Eep! No! It's a terrible shame, Miss Pharmacist. How could one in the profession of saving lives stoop down to extinguishing them?
Ah! What are you saying? I would never do such a thing.
Mr. De Best, do you have a basis for these accusations?
Of course. This is my basis. Her pharmacist's license.
Shouldn't there be like a date of birth or something there? At least year of birth?
It would permit her to handle Megatoxin X, right?
And its active ingredient, fatalium, was one of the components of the poison gas.
Exactly. That chemical is almost impossible for ordinary people to obtain. But that pharmacist is another story altogether.
It wasn't me! You've got it all wrong!
Objection! And that's not all. A ball of Megatoxin X was found in the victim's pocket. And on the bottle, we found clear fingerprints. Yours.
Yeep!
You and the curator took the victim to the infirmary, right? That would have given you the perfect opportunity to plant the bottle on him.
That's... Smash. You are the only pharmacist on the premises who could have handled Megatoxin X. Furthermore, as for the curator of this art gallery, you're an acquaintance of hers. You would have had access to the gallery at any time in order to prepare the poison gas trap. Please wait! That Megatoxin X, it was stolen!
Yeah, mega. That's how bad it is. Also, the chemical is called fatalium, so you can imagine how terrible it really is, and how fatal.
Trying to lie your way out of this wouldn't go well with me. It's true! Look, I've only got proof right here I've got the proof right here in my bag!
What is she searching for?
Not this. Not this either.
I remember seeing cloth like that recently. Yeah, it was in the crime scene, wasn't it?
Ah! Here! Please take a look at this!
It's some sort of paper.
What's it say?
April 1st, theft report accepted. Stolen item, Megatoxin X. This is a theft report acceptance certificate.
What?
Yes, see, the truth is, 1 week ago, my Megatoxin X was stolen.
1 week ago? That means you did have it with you today?
Yes, see, that ball you just found is probably the one that was stolen from me. I normally carry that ball of Megatoxin X in my bag at all times, even though I often forget to keep it locked up. I would never even think about mixing it with Normalium.
But why in the world would you carry such a dangerous substance on your person? Well, she said that she hates like either rats or roaches, I'm not sure what it was, and that it's used against them.
Well, you never know when those things will appear. Those creatures that infest the kitchen, striking fear into the heart of a lady, right? Although, if you had a rolled up newspaper, you could just squash him with one blow.
Okay, so roaches, I'm assuming, and not rats.
Justine, what do we do now?
Well then, can we really accept this theft report? Let's ask for confirmation. That should clearly tell us whether or not she's lying.
Right. Well then, I'll just call and confirm it.
It looks like Miss Delicious isn't the culprit.
Indeed, she really did set up the poison gas as a trap. I don't believe she would do it in the way that incriminates her the most.
So, Miles, who do you think is the culprit?
Predicting the actions of the victim would require a fair amount of advanced planning. And there's only one person here capable of that.
Huh? Uncle Ray would like to know too. Who do you suspect? Tell you exactly who.
The one who stole the Megatoxin X and prepared the room in advance was...
It can only be her, really. She's a curator here, and she's friends with her. It's possible that she visited her a week ago and stole the toxin. She had all the time in the world to set it up here. And she would also know why Gustavia would want to go and see that or open the case. So I'm pretty sure it's her.
Take that! It had to be the curator of the Zodiac Art Gallery, Miss Catherine Hall. However, I don't have any evidence that she is the criminal yet.
I see. She is...
The way he said that just now sounded like he had been expecting it.
Good job, Miles. As expected from Uncle Ray's future apprentice.
I have no intention of becoming your apprentice.
And I will now announce the results of my verification. I can confirm that your theft report was indeed accepted. Therefore, it's a little too early to come to a decision.
That means your logic was completely faulty.
You're wrong. My real performance is still to come.
Really? How do you plan to proceed with your investigation?
That's... First, we need to speak with the curator.
And after that?
We'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
Sebastian? Mr. Gustavia may have had business in the Winter Palace. I believe we should send an investigator there as well.
Oh, that's good too. Detective Gumshoe, investigate the Winter Palace at once.
Oh, got it, sir.
Justine, let's go talk to the curator.
Yes, let us proceed.
We should go and listen to what Miss Hall has to say as well.
On we go, I suppose. Hey, it was kind of in the back there, Snore.
Alright, I want you guys to listen to what the curator has to say.
Mr. DeBest, weren't you going to go and talk to her yourself?
Nah, that's a job for my subordinates. All I have to do is wait for their report. I'm the best prosecutor, after all.
Such arrogance.
Well, this is anticlimactic. I'm gonna chill for a bit. Huh? What's that in the fountain? Ah!
Whoa, no way!
Whoa! There's a dead body in the fountain!
No way, she's dead?
I definitely did not see this coming. I mean, I did start to think that she wasn't the real culprit when they started thinking that she is, but I wasn't expecting her to die.
What is the meaning of this?
Now I really don't know who to suspect.
Silence, everyone. Forensics. Identify this body at once.
It's terrible, pal!
Please be quiet, detective.
What, was there another body?
The ice sculptures in the Winter Palace.
Oh. Oh, wow.
They've all melted, pal.
What? A lot has happened in the couple of months we were in there.
What? What?
What?
What's going on here?
There are 2 victims now.
This is all just like 18 years ago. Once again, the ice sculptures have melted.
Again?
And everyone related to the incident 18 years ago is gathered here now.
Who's Lauren Southern? Weru. Someone... The name doesn't sound Finnish, so maybe, I don't know, someone American or British?
This is no mere coincidence. Don't you think so, Miles?
Yes. The key to finding the truth of this case lies in the IS-7 incident. This is what I believe.
That's right. Uncle Ray thinks so too. Looks like it's time once again for Uncle Ray to tell you about the IS-7 incident.
Oh, another flashback then. Yep, I guess so. And we'll be continuing it right now. I hope I remember everybody's voices.
The IS-7 incident, 18 years ago. Gregory Edgeworth's last case. Isaac Dover was murdered at the venue of a dessert contest. And his body was discovered in the chocolate treasure chest made by Jeff Master. The victim died from blood loss after being struck in the head with a rock-salt lamp. The murder weapon was found hidden inside Delicious Candy Castle. Then, in the victim's room, where no one had searched yet, all of Dover's sherbet sculptures have melted.
18 years ago. Here we go. Back in time.
The sculptures in Miss Dover's room have melted. Due to that, Prosecutor von Karma immediately drove us away from the scene.
Oh, we're gonna investigate now. And what's with that defense attorney out? Von Karma's methods are deplorable.
Well, investigating the crime scene is supposed to be the police's job after all.
But you gotta admit, Von Karma's methods are way out of line. Defense attorneys and the police should work together to discover the truth.
Lauren Southern is a Canadian politician. Why are you like interested in her then, Weru? But yeah, for a politician to be 22, it's pretty much unheard of in most places, I think. Or at least a successful or a high-ranking politician. Very rare.
Raymond, you must realize that not everyone shares the same views as us. Should one expose the truth for the sake of justice, or simply accept things as they appear? Everyone has their own view on what is right and what is wrong.
Even if that means convicting an innocent man?
Both ourselves and the police are only human, and as humans, we all make mistakes. It is for this reason that we defense attorneys exist. So that those who are alone and helpless can have an ally on their side.
An ally on their side?
If we cannot investigate, we should find some other way to help. Shouldn't we find some other way to help?
I'm sorry, Mr. Edgeworth. I still have so much to learn.
You're still young, so you'll have many opportunities to learn.
Right! I'll do my best!
Boy, now that I think about it, the woman we found in there, was it Catherine Hall? She didn't look much like her. Now that I'm actually seeing her. It's not common in Europe, but Canada. I'm a bit surprised. Well, Justin Trudeau is also like really, really young, isn't he? All things considered. I know, I'm really hoping there's going to be a wave of like younger political leaders rising up real soon. I mean, there's Canada, there's New Zealand, and that's it, I guess. But I really hope, like, we really need that. I saw a post about that today, and it's really true. We need like younger people in offices. Like, it's unbelievable that everybody who has any power of our lives has no idea how we're living or like anything about our culture or the way we live. It's unfucking believable. There should be at least, actually there was here like a young people's party, a party that like said they take care for young parents and students and first homeowners or first time renters, stuff like that. So there was a party like that, but I don't think they've ever made it into our what's the word in English? House of Representatives, I guess. Did they get scoffed on? Oh yeah, definitely. The thing is that they didn't have that, like they didn't have that many voters really, because like none of the older people would vote for them. They were, and none of the, like, they were focusing like on really young voters, and those were also swayed away by other stuff, by like larger political stuff. So it just wasn't enough. Like their target audience was way too small to actually get a seat, which is a shame. But threw away my vote in a sense. But whatever. I voted for what I thought was right at the time, or what I felt was the most relevant to me at the time.
Monsieur Edgeworth and Monsieur Shields, would you like to take a brief respite? I know it's not much, but please, eat these.
Hey! Those were... Something's really fucky around here. Those were in Miss Delicious's pocket as well. Oh, hey, Weru. Did you just start listening now? I was asking earlier, what's your interest with Lauren Southern? I'm just curious if she's a Canadian politician.
Wow, thank you.
Chocolates added to court record. Interesting. So yeah, that is relevant actually. I think. Very sweet and quite misshapen. Oh, so you just like heard about her in the news and stuff and didn't matter. Well, yeah, like I said, 22 is really young for a politician. Like really, really young. Good on her, really, for doing that. Oh! Oh, content creator. Okay, that makes way more sense. Don't follow her. Oh, but you're aware of her. Came across a video. I see. Okay, fair enough. I wonder why Snore thought she was a politician. Maybe there's another politician, a Canadian politician with her name.
Let's eat. I appreciate getting some sugar into my system, but these are a little too sweet.
Far right. Oh. Well, never mind. Maybe it's not so good. I'm certainly not far right in my political opinions, but I'm not gonna go into that. Oh, I see. Okay, fair enough.
And it's a little misshapen too.
I'm terribly sorry. Does it not suit your taste?
I I'm trying to think now if there was an occasion where I saw Kate and Miss Delicious both at the same time. And I might be forgetting, but I don't think I did see them standing together in the same place.
Not at all. It's deliciously sweet. Hihi. Merci beaucoup. But making sweets isn't really my forte. Huh? You made this chocolate, Kate? Oui. Chocolate is Monsieur Master's favorite food.
So yeah, over here she's supposed to be like 16, right? That makes no sense. Well, I guess she is. Wow, she doesn't look 16.
Preparing his favorite food is also part of my job. But I'm still not that good at it, so I need him to instruct me. Oh, I envy Master Jeff. He gets to eat Kate's handmade sweets whenever he wants. Did you say something? Ah, no, it's nothing.
This is so sweet, in more ways than one. Miss Hall, you seem very dedicated to your work.
Without my work, I wouldn't even have the right to be here. What do you mean? When I was a child, I was abandoned. Monsieur Master took me in. One snowy Christmas Eve, I was left on the doorstep of this mansion. I owe Monsieur Master my life. He became like a father to me.
Oh, congrats on getting the internet back, man. Right, I remember there was something about your ISP or something.
And so, to repay his kindness, I want to continue working for him. Kate, you're incredible.
I've lived a long life. Yet that brought tears even to my eyes.
Today, Christmas Eve has finally arrived once more. But it looks like I won't be able to give him the present I prepared. I would do anything if it meant saving Monsieur Master. If there's any way I could be of service to you, please ask.
Yes, I appreciate that. Well then, do you happen to know anything about the victim, Isaac Dover?
I don't really know much about Monsieur Dover, but I have a photo of the dessert he made for the contest finals.
Okay. Interesting. So it's also got... This is real. Well, I'm not sure what to think of it. These are definitely the statues that were in the Winter Palace. Or maybe, I don't know. Like the ones that are complete, that aren't like half a different zodiac sign. Also that, what is that electricity for? The lighting, probably. It seems like it's also using the rainbow lighting machines or whatever. Kid, not baby. Well, Snorri, you gotta get your workout somehow. Carrying a baby around is what it is. It can get worse, I think.
Oui, with this exquisite beauty, it is truly a work of art. It's crafted so intricately that you almost forget it's made out of sherbet. It seems Monsieur Master was also fond of Monsieur Dover's work as well. Wow, those are the Taurus and Gemini constellations.
Do you know a lot about constellations, Raymond?
Of course, there's so much romance in the constellations. For example, take the club, lyre, and arrow held by Gemini here. These come from... Huh? There are no strings on this lyre.
Oh, that's true. In the newer version, there were definitely strings. Snore was thinking the same thing. Snortod, for short.
It's hard to think he would make a mistake like that. Huh? I thought you said you didn't know that much about him.
Oh shit, I did the wrong voice there, I'm sorry.
I just sort of felt that way somehow.
This is well, Kate definitely has like a different angle here. She's definitely suspicious to me, and I had my eyes on her from the beginning, but I'm still not sure if she's the one that died or someone else.
It appears she's hiding something from us.
Definitely. Are we going to look into it?
Miss Hall, did you take this photograph yourself?
Oui, I took it with this instant camera. It develops pictures instantly. It's one of my greatest treasures. Wow, I would love to see it in action. Hehe. Well then, why don't we take a picture right now? Yeah, let's have our picture taken, Mr. Edgeworth.
Sure, I don't mind. I'm confident in my hairstyle today.
All right, I'm taking the picture. C'est fromage.
Think about it, young Ray and young Emma are pretty alike. Remind me again who's young Emma? Idolma? Also, hi, happy Thursday. Like just checking up on her memory because they're fascinating to observe at that age. Oh yeah, I agree, Weru. Just the way they like perceive the world and look at stuff. That like, you know, you can, it's the same, it's a bit like, you know, seeing a confused puppy. Exactly, Weru. I also find it fascinating. I remember one time I have an ex that when we dated, her big sister just had a baby. And we used to walk around with a baby from time to time to give her a little break. And just like, you know, to make things a bit more interesting for the baby, I used to like take his little carriage and like pull it instead of push it. So he would go like backwards. And like the look on his face, it was amazing. He would just be dumbfounded, like looking all around like, what the fuck is going on? And I thought, and that was really fascinating to me. And Maskai, the scientist assistant from Case 5 from Investigations 1. Oh! Actually, when you say that, yeah. I didn't even think about it, but you're absolutely right, Lil Mao. Good catch there.
Here, it's developed. A present from me to you, Monsieur Shields. Wow, thank you so much. That's such a great camera.
If you remember, Ray brought one in present day to the art gallery.
It's the only camera in this mansion. Unfortunately, its convenience comes at a cost. There are no negatives.
No negatives. Huh. Is this the same camera Mr. Master used during the contest?
Oui, you are well informed. While he made his desserts, Monsieur Master photographed his work.
By the way, Ninja... Oh, yeah, you're right. I wanted to check that out. Thanks for reminding me.
After that, he took photos of all the other competitors' work.
Was he taking photos at the time the body was found? The body was discovered during the judging, was it not?
Monsieur Master intended to take photos of everyone's rooms, but After he photographed Gustavia's room, he ran out of film. Monsieur Master asked me to change the film in the camera. It seemed the film he prepared in advance wasn't enough.
There wasn't enough film?
It seems the number of photos he took didn't match up with the amount of film remaining. Well, he told me himself it might have been just a mistake though.
Was it really just a mistake?
I retrieved more film from the main building and went back to the fountain patio.
Interesting. So there was a time when she was away from everybody, by herself.
And it was then that I heard the sound of something breaking in Monsieur Master's room.
Okay, interesting. Interesting circumstances.
Monsieur Master, are you in here? Eek! And that's when I found Monsieur Dover's body in Monsieur Master's room. Oh, it was so terrible. I was really shaken up. Before I spoke to anyone else, I called the police. This camera, I kept it with me ever since.
I see. If it's alright with you, would you mind letting me your camera in that photo?
Oh sure, I don't mind at all. Here you go.
Thank you very much.
Instant camera added to the cord record. Okay. Dover's Sherbet Salon. Okay. Oh, well, here they are together in the same room, so.
Detective Bad, Miss Delicious, is the investigation over already? He said he had no more.
Sorry. All the different accents are getting a bit confused in my head.
He said he had no.
Oh, is that the ninja star on his shoulder there? Idle Mao? Is that what you meant? We'll see it close up soon enough. Yes, by the way.
He said he had no more use for me and kicked me out.
It's okay. Idle Mao, go for it. If you've got a question, go for it.
Manny, that meanie. What a rude thing to say.
It was probably to ensure that you wouldn't eat any more of the crime scene.
Ah, that really sucks, Weru. But yeah, paid internship would definitely be a step up. Like, you know, anything in the area you're studying would be really good, I think. Oh, that's a really good question. I'd say out of the two, my favorite by close margin. They're both pretty cool, but I think Bad is more badass. Since it doesn't feel like Shilong Lang feels like he's trying a lot with his wolf metaphors and all that, and Bad is just himself, and he's badass like that. That's even more badass to me.
So, Detective Bad, did you get kicked out too?
It seems Von Karma thought I was getting in the way. He won't let me investigate. Why would he prohibit his own detective from investigating?
Because he's gonna fucking fake the evidence or something, obviously.
But you know just about all there is to know about the crime scene.
Oh, that's also true. Did he? I forgot about that. If he did, then yeah, that kind of. But I think Bad also wasn't afraid our Francisca's whip. Like he was, I think, if I don't remember, he was scared of her. So that's almost the same level. But yeah, catching the whip is definitely a couple levels up. Definitely helps him out. Yeah, well, I remember you working at a bar too. I remember you said you wanted to, like, maybe become the bartender there or something.
But I know just about all there is to know about the crime scene. Right now, he's talking to Gustavia in Dover's room.
Oh, yeah. Bartending's a no-go. That sucks. But yeah, I definitely can emphasize with, you know, having, like, needing some time alone after being with a lot of people. For the same reason I had my shift, they're gonna train up someone. Oh, that sucks. That really sucks, man. But yeah, if you could, like, you know, focus that energy and time into getting, like, a paid internship, I think that would be definitely a step up from anything you could have done at that bar. Just like, you know, because actually I don't remember exactly what you're studying, but I think that pretty much anything in your area of, you know, the area you want to work with and starting getting experience right now would be the best thing. Because I'm assuming you don't want to work in, like, you know, in a bar or work in the service industry forever. Okay.
Why does he need to speak to Mr. Gustavia?
We heard from all that Gustavia was seen entering the victim's room.
Oh, just like in present day. It's kind of funny that chat on the leftover never talks about the game. No, it's true. I guess it's more that they got like on 60 Heroes, they're more of a small community. So sometimes they talk about the game, but a lot of times it's just like, you know, catching up with each other. Which is also cool. Like, I love the feeling of, you know, a small community where people know each other. But no offense taken at all.
Mr. Gustavia?
Editing and proofreading on the side. Yeah, I'm sure you can find something like that, or even, like, you know, starting anywhere in that area, like even transcribing or something could be a good start, I think. Just because I imagine that companies that do transcribing also do editing and proofreading.
Oui, I saw him entering Dover's room, and it seemed like he was trying to avoid being seen. Although I have no idea what he did in there.
He is currently under suspicion for melting Dover's sherbet.
Just why did Mr. Gustavia enter that room?
I also have a photo of Dover's room here. If you need it, I'll let you take a look at it.
Huh? What? Why would you do that for us?
You still don't get it, kid. I'm saying I want to help you guys in order to discover the truth of this case.
Detective Bad?
Is that all right, Detective Bad? Won't Von Karma chew you out again?
What did it say there's 7 people? Oh, because the people on Safe City Heroes also watch the stream. So I guess that means that there are 6 people watching over there plus you. Oh, plus me actually, plus like I guess another person is the chat window that I'm presenting on stream. So there are 5 people watching me on Safe City Heroes, and maybe there's either 5 or 6 on Safe City Heroes, and there's you, of course. So that's why.
I have no intention of becoming Von Karma's lapdog. If you won't let me investigate, I'll just do as I like. Getting tied up in stupid rules will only blind you to the truth. Isn't that right?
Oh yeah, Moobot too, possibly. Does Moobot count as a viewer or just as a person in chat? I'm not sure, actually. But yeah, it's possible.
Isn't that right, Attorney Edgeworth?
Of course, Detective Bad. I thank you.
This is amazing, Mr. Edgeworth. Now we've got Detective Bad on our side.
It counts as a mod. Well, yeah, but I don't think it like actively watches the stream though. I think it's like just in the chat window. So I'm not positive. Who knows? I don't mind. You guys is all I need, really.
I don't really get what's going on, but I'm glad you boys are all friends now.
I'm grateful that he lent us his strength.
Sorry, I'm kind of messing up Gregory's accent sometimes.
Well then, can we see the photo now? Right. This is the current state of Dover's room.
Wow, the sherbet has completely melted.
The room is drenched in a light blue liquid. We should compare this with a photo Miss Hall took. Did the sherbet melt because the power cord was pulled out? Yeah, because it was pulled. All the refrigerator glass cases lost power completely.
Looks like all the power cords were connected to one socket.
Do you have any idea when this cord was pulled out? No. Still under investigation at the moment.
What a waste of beautiful sherbet. Honestly, had I known it would end up like this, I would have eaten even more of this stuff. Did Mr. Dover's sherbet taste that good? Oh yes, see? His sherbet was most delicious. Really? Oh, I wish I could have eaten some too. But there was one piece that was so salty I couldn't eat it.
Salty?
It's right there in this photo. It was a part of that lyre.
Interesting. And we saw that there weren't any, right? It was in this time. Yeah, there weren't any strings. Oh, because she ate them. That's why. So it wasn't a mistake. There we go.
That's a lyre from the Gemini constellation.
Oh, you snuck a bite from the lyre. That's why the strings are missing. Fine. I could never have eaten that much. It was way too salty.
It was most delicious, but the lyre part was very salty. So she didn't eat all of the cords? Yeah, that is cute.
One part of the sherbet tasted different. That's rather curious. Did someone other than her also take a bite out of it? Did you notice anything else?
Yeah, just so we know where to look.
Now that you mention it, I see sherbet sculptures had these strange markings on them. They had two letters carved into them. Oh, wait a minute. There. It looked something like this.
Interesting. So just like the signaled crest and the bottom of the teapot, something's definitely up with this Pierre Hoquet, whoever he is. He's becoming a person of larger and larger interest.
alphabet signature? It can't be.
I knew it. I just knew that Monsieur Dover made this liar. He isn't one to make mistakes in his sculptures, after all.
But is he the one who made them? Oh, wait, is he? Is Mr. Dover, do we have... Oh, we don't have him over here, actually. Is Mr. Dover actually Pierre Hoquet? That might explain some connections here. Very interesting.
Miss Hall, it's been troubling me for a while, but do you know something about Mr. Dover?
Huh? Why would I know something about Monsieur Dover?
Okay, officially, he's Pierre Hoquet. And she's a huge fan of him, so she would know that. Like of Pierre.
You seem quite attached to Mr. Dover's handiwork.
That's just because his sculptures are such great works of art.
No, I believe that his works are very special to you in particular.
How do you know that?
There's a piece of evidence that we believe belongs to Mr. Dover, and it happens to share a common feature with another piece of evidence.
Please show me. I have no idea what you're talking about. Which two pieces of evidence share something in common?
Two pieces of evidence that point to Mr. Dover. Let's start by presenting the first one.
Definitely. I think it's just the two I just showed you.
Take that! And now, the second piece of evidence which shows that a common feature is... Take that! Delisha saw two letters of the alphabet. They were probably used as Mr. Dover's signature. Just as an artist would sign their name on their works.
Right. Oi, I remember now. R.C.'s sherbet sculptures had PH carved into them. I'm sure of it.
PH? Those aren't Isaac Dover's initials, though. No, but we found this seal at the scene of the crime. It had probably fallen out of the late Mr. Dover's pocket. If he had pressed the seal into something, it would mark the letters PH. Also, the very same PH symbol is engraved into this teapot.
Yeah, I agree. Still a nice one, though. But yeah, it's not the exact right atmosphere here.
The same symbol. This teapot was made by the sculptor Pierre Hoquet. In other words, this PH is the signature of Pierre Hoquet. Miss Hall, do you know about this signature? You know about this signature all too well, don't you?
Oui, Monsieur Hoquet's works always bear that signature. Since he never shows himself in public, his signature is used to identify his works.
No way. Are you saying Pierre Hoquet is... It seems Detective Bad has also realized Isaac Dover's true identity. To Miss Hall, Mr. Dover was no ordinary pastry chef. That's because his true identity was...
sculptor.
That's right. Mr. Dover's true identity was the sculptor, Pierre Hoquet.
Kind of not really fitting here, too. I would expect something more intense a bit.
What? Mr. Dover was a sculptor?
Is anyone who they say they are in this competition?
Things like signatures can be faked if you have the original designs. Can you really use that as proof that he was a sculptor?
Well, what if Miss Hall will confirm what we're saying?
No. But what's important here is that Miss Hall thought he was.
What don't you know, Weru? Regarding proofreaders and freelancers, or something else?
As for proving his real identity, I'll leave that to the police. I get it. I'll have the boys check up on it.
As I expected from you, Gregory Edgeworth.
Oh, what I just talked about. Okay.
You knew Mr. Dover's real identity all along, didn't you?
Oui. When I discovered the body, I noticed the seal. I knew from that moment that he was Pierroquet, the man I greatly admired. Thinking that this would be his final posthumous work, I just couldn't sit still.
So, that's why you entered Dover's room?
Huh? What did you say?
When exactly did you take this photo of Dover's room?
That was... Perhaps this was taken during the judging.
Objection! That's strange. I thought you said the camera ran out of film during the judging. Before Mr. Master entered Dover's room, you were the one in possession of the camera. Wasn't that why you were able to take the photo when you discovered the body?
Oui, that's right.
The only photos you took with the new film were of Dover's room and the body. If that's the case, a new contradiction comes to light.
Another one.
The piece of evidence that contradicts the two photos Miss Hall took is...
Actually, I'm not sure. Let's see. We got the camera. Yeah, I'm going the wrong way. Okay, this is what she took. And... oh, we don't have the new photo then. It's not part of our evidences. The piece of evidence that contradicts the two photos Miss Hall took. Let's see if there is anything else here that's belonging. I feel like I'm missing something. Well, they got the machines here. It's connected to the power. They got the tools. They got everything okay. Contradicts the two photos. One is of what, the timing or something? That the liar was very salty, meaning she ate it. When did she say she ate it? I don't remember. It could be her testimony. I don't really remember the timeline here. And I can't examine that. Contest rules, let's see. Rules will be judged starting from the left. Afterwards, all parties will meet in Jeff's room. Any decorations not made from desserts are prohibited. Entering another contestant's room before the judging is done is prohibited. Maybe since she's not part of the competition, this, like the third rule, doesn't apply to her. So I'm going to skip this for now. Signet crest. Doesn't contradict it, I think. Crime scene notes. Well, we know that there's a problem with the blood, but... I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that what's contradicting is the testimony, and it's kind of going on a limb here, but let's see.
Take that! This piece of evidence contradicts the photos Miss Hall took.
I do not think there is anything contradictory about that.
Oh, my logic is the only thing contradictory here. If I think back to the number of photos you took, the answer should be clear. I already carried the evidence that shows the contradiction.
Okay, so it's about the number of photos. Oh, the camera! The camera itself, right? It would say something. Capacity for 20 photos, but there's only film for 3 more. So it should be this? Well, if she brought new film and only took those 2 photos, then that doesn't make sense, right? Then there should be 18. There should be film for 18 more. Not just 2. Not 3. So maybe this is it?
Take that!
That is my instant camera.
You've already handed the photos of Dover's room and the body to myself and the police.
That reminds me. Didn't you also take a photo of me and Mr. Edgeworth just now?
Also, I just noticed, it also, like the ninja star also appears on his left shoulder, so I guess that's just a pattern or something, and nothing really special.
The film used in this camera can take up to 20 photos. However, this camera only has 3 photos left, which leaves 14 photos unaccounted for. Exactly what were they used to photograph?
Well, yeah, obviously the sprite itself is mirrored, but I'm saying that the, like the star itself, I'm guessing it's not an actual star on his shirt, but some sort of pattern on the clothes he was wearing. Like that's what it's actually supposed to be, I'm assuming.
Please show us all the photos you took. We'll be able to discern your actions from these photos.
I'm so sorry. I have told a terrible lie.
Don't tell me. All of the remaining shots are of Isaac Dover's room.
My deepest apologies. It seems they are all shots of the ice sculptures from various angles.
Actually, that could really be helpful to our investigation.
So when these were taken, the sculptures had not melted yet. But that means the one who caused them to melt was you.
Oui. I am positive that I melted them.
You are positive?
I am an aficionado of the sculptor Pierre Roquet, who is actually Monsieur Dover. Before the authorities could defile the final masterpieces during their investigation, I thought I should preserve them through photographs. Hence, I entered the room, his room.
In that case, why did all the ice melt?
It's probably because, as I was taking the pictures, I became entranced with his works. And it seems that my foot accidentally got caught in the power cord, unplugging it.
Well, you must have noticed that. Why didn't you, like, plug it right back in?
Accidentally, you say?
I did not notice the power cord at the time. I would never have imagined that I would be the cause of those sculptures melting.
Could the truth really be that simple?
Yeah, something feels odd here.
However, I cannot say with certainty that she is lying.
I am so sorry to have caused you all so much trouble.
As long as you're telling the truth, there's no need to apologize.
That's right. Don't sweat it, Kate. Thank you very much.
Edgeworth, here, take this picture. Do what you want with it.
Thank you. We should get all the other photos too, honestly. And here he comes. So yeah, right before we start getting into the whole Von Karma predicament, I think this is the best point I'm going to find to stop. So that's it for tonight, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I had a great time with you guys, and of course this great game. Really loving it, as I do all the games so far in the series. So I'm gonna save. I'll be back tomorrow, same time as today. You can check the schedule to see what time it is for you locally. There's a North American version and a European version, whichever you prefer. Other than that, also you can feel free to, if you enjoyed my streams, feel free to follow me on Twitch, Twitter, and Steam to get notifications when I start, so you don't miss any of my streams. And you can follow me on Twitch and YouTube to watch past broadcasts of mine of this game and others. So that's it. Thank you again so much for being around, guys. I hope you I hope you enjoyed yourselves at least as much as I did. And what else? Just enjoy. It's almost the weekend for you guys. Hold on, just one more day. And happy Thanksgiving if there are any Americans around here still listening. And I think that is it for now. So take care, guys. Hopefully I'll see you soon, even tomorrow. I'll try to stream more during the weekend, not just Phoenix Wright, but maybe some GTA or hopefully some Siege with the Siege boys. So that's it. Take care, guys. Have a good one. And Marco.